morning, folks. I think we are finally live. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, I just got the email. It is, what day is it? Tuesday, August 27th, 10:50 a.m. is the time, and about 27 degrees Celsius. And I'm here in North York, and that's a look to the south, the intersection of Yonge and Shepherd. And I see Lee's here, Madano's here, Marie Palmer, Edward, Sheena, Simons Gordon, Kaplan, Vivian Johnson, Jacques. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Twisted Metal. Why Haas? Life is short. Go have 2 quarter-pounders. So, the last live stream I did on this channel was my new setup. This one is the old setup because, being the total idiot that I am, I didn't update my OBS server with the right stream key. So, we're back to streaming on the old server, or the old service, but it should be decent enough. Stream keys. We're back streaming. Also, we are using the iPhone microphones. Because I thought I was going to be streaming the other way, I didn't bring my normal wireless microphone kit. Well, it's always good to have a backup. So what I'm going to do is just kind of wander through North York and make my way north all the way up towards Steeles. But we're in no particular hurry or rush to get there. Mike Landry, $2. Mike Landry, thank you so much for the $2, Mike. Yeah, this is Shepherd Avenue. Yonge Shepherd Station centers around this intersection. Marge is here. Daniel says, thanks to you, kind of know where to go. Keep it up. You're welcome. Glad you know where to go. Hopefully the audio is okay enough. And maybe tomorrow or Thursday night, I might go live again from the CNE while weekday admission is still cheap after 5 p.m. Sheena says the audio is good. Twisted Mouse says audio is fine. Lisa says better than the last stream. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I might do another morning live stream later this week. I'm not sure when. But we are heading north up the east side of Yonge Street. Maybe Thursday morning we'll go live instead of a video as well. And I've got reasons for that, which you will find out. Oh, there's a person yelling at their imaginary friend. Brian says, just from the buildings, I knew you were at Yonge and Shepherd. That's the Yonge Shepherd Center on the right. We can put the camera into wide mode here. Looks like my gimbal is slightly off balance here. We'll see how well I can maintain first person mode. Not well. Ike is here. Hello, Ike. Digital Blade CA. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you to everyone who watched the video I posted yesterday. That video is well north of 10,000 views already. I think it's a great cause. There's a lot of great comments. There's some pretty dumb comments too. People saying this is stupid, but then not offering anything more than that. But I'm glad that the vast majority of people seem to get it. AG says, this is my hood. David Little is here. Jeanette is here. And we're already at 191 viewers. Thank you guys. Lee says, always a pleasure tuning into Johnny. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you join along. This is Greenfield Avenue. Dutchman AZ says, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Redcoat Phillip is here. Tea with Tan sees their old condo. Who's asking if I drank my morning smoothie? Yeah, I had a smoothie and a coffee. I was going to go somewhere very different for this stream, but I didn't have a walk to record after that in mind, so I decided to pull this one. I've got a spreadsheet of video ideas I can do. Since I'm gonna have to start catching up on videos, I just took one off that list. We're gonna head up to Steele's, and then I may do a walk very similar to what the Ken Continuum did recently, only in reverse. I just noticed that this morning on my way up here. Oh well. I should walk around Bathurst and Finch. I've done that before on stream. I've walked across Finch. This is Spring Garden Avenue coming up. Oh, what a beautiful day. Spring Garden Church off to the right. Action Kid says, whoa, Steeles, you're going to be at the Toronto border. Yeah, the border of 3 cities. We'll have Markham and Vaughan right at Yonge and Steeles. The area just north of Steeles is known as Thornhill. I've already done the shtick of making a video or streaming in 3 cities within a minute. But I saw that you did a update live stream yesterday, Action Kid. I was able to join in the chat for a little bit, and I put it on the smart TV in the background while I did a few things. Glad you're doing well. Lee, ZAR 140. I would... Ooh, that Ferrari just honked. I would absolutely butcher your last name, but thank you so much for the super chat and the support. It is definitely appreciated. Toronto Brad in the house. Is it the real Toronto Brad, or is it Jeff impersonating Toronto Brad? Ryan says 140 rands equals 100 or 11 Canadian. Thank you for the conversion. And thank you for the super chat. We're gonna walk outside the construction hoarding. And Action Kid, if you're watching, my iPhone just did that annoying thing iPhones do when you're streaming, and the screen just went all dim. I think that's a heat protection measure. I do have the brightness turned all the way up, but I could barely see things. You must get that a lot in hotter climates, especially in Miami and through some of your travels in Southeast Asia recently. Twisted Metal says, no, I'm the real Toronto Brad. Action Kid says that's the annoying thing with the screen. Yeah, but I guess it's better than having the phone overheat, right? It's not even that hot. I think it's like 24, 25 degrees Celsius. But my screen just went from really bright to really dull. It's been a while since I've been streaming with a phone, so I'm not used to it. Hey, there's a Chipotle and a Pizza Libretto. I've only ever been to the Pizza Libretto on Danforth. It's quite solid. Well, good thing I forgot my sunglasses, because I would not be able to read the chats. Scott says, good morning, Johnny. I see you're in my old stomping grounds. Have a great day. Thank you, Scott. There's a keg on the right. Dutchman says that issue would still be a problem with the heat in Phoenix, Arizona as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect this guy. Maybe I should have streamed with the Galaxy S24 Ultra instead. Oh well. That screen seems to keep its brightness when the phone gets hot. Credence was watching my videos from the winter time. Here's kind of a ridiculous feature, so to speak, of this neighborhood. Toronto Brad, $2. North York Center is a nice spot to hang out. Toronto Brad, you are right. Thank you so much, Toronto Brad. It was nice to meet you a few weekends ago. Much appreciated. I went back and watched myself appear on your stream. As I was saying, this is one of the really annoying things about this neighborhood. Look at the crossing up ahead. And here's a marked crossing, and look how far away we are to the next marked crossing to the south. You're literally hundreds and hundreds of meters away from the next safe crossing in either direction. It is insane. Now they are fixing this. There is a complete street program coming on. Toronto Brad. I don't know when I'm going back there. But you will see me somewhere else. Lisa says the further north you get, the less safe it gets. They need more crossings. Yeah, well, they're going to be widening the sidewalks, adding in protected bike lanes, taking out a lane of traffic each way. I mean, if you look at the volume of traffic, I think that's a very worthwhile change to make. A lot of businesses complained at first, but the idiotic thing is there's a strong correlation between an increase in local business and an addition of bike lanes, even if you remove some of the parking. In general, businesses tend to do a noticeable bit better. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30% in some studies. Obviously, it depends on your kind of business, but people are more easily to just drop into a neighborhood, pull over, stop, or lock their bike up and hope it doesn't get stolen. But this is Empress Walk on the right. Right, North York Center. Maybe we'll cross the street and we'll go take a look at Mel Lastman Square. The petite potato. Marble Slab Creamery, Wendy's are really making a return. There's a movie theater in there. Let's cross the street. Han says it seems to be nice weather in Toronto. Indeed. Might be a nice day to hit a patio later tonight. Grab some beverages. This is Mel Lastman Square, so way back when, before amalgamation, this used to be its own city, North York. And Mel Lastman was the last mayor of it and the first mayor of the amalgamated megacity. And this was the city hall. Now it's just a civic center. They would often hold like New Year's celebrations here. They still use this for festivals quite often, especially during the summertime. I think there was a Korean festival here last week. Some people refer to this area as like a second Koreatown. But unlike Koreatown, between Bathurst and Christie, you'll see a whole lot of like Taiwanese, Japanese, and Chinese restaurants and establishments here as well. I'd hesitate to call it a Koreatown. But there's where the ice surface goes in. Toronto Brad says festivals and protests. That is true. There's a little stage over there, a mini amphitheater. There's a public library over there, a food court. Yeah, we'll see a lot of Middle Eastern businesses when I get north of Steeles. It's really a very multicultural area, as is much of Toronto. Tea with Tance's Little Korea Finch. Yeah, I would not call it that though. It's Koreatown is Bathurst to Christie. All right, Marie Palmer, thanks for joining in. I have to really squint to read some of your messages because of this damn iPhone screen. I do. On my much brighter phone, I'm going to pull up YouTube, the chat. Way if I ever really struggle to see anything. One second, I'm just getting that up and running here. On the old server. Yeah, let me get ready. All right, we are caught up. Since Koreatown is taken, you can call it the soul of Toronto. Then the people from like Busan and Daejeon and Gyeonggi-do might be offended by that. Incheon. You know, I was looking at my travel videos in the past. Speaking of Korea, and the ones I did in Korea easily did the best. I think Seoul has been the city that I've traveled to that people most watch the videos from. The live streams there did pretty well. But the pre-recorded videos all seem to do like a minimum 10,000 views. Some of them way more. So I think I screwed up on that trip. I only booked myself 3 nights in Seoul. And if you travel, you know, 3 nights is really like barely over 2 days when you factor in getting to and from the airport, getting to your hotel or Airbnb and all that fun stuff. And I tried to cram a whole lot in there. I crammed 2 live streams, a whole bunch of videos. I met a bunch of friends in my fantasy football league and hung out with them. I met a couple of viewers. There was one viewer who messaged me during a live stream. So if I go back to Seoul, which I think I will do, I'm gonna have to give it a minimum of 4 days. Maybe hop on over to Busan or something. All right, let's play a game. Every time I hit a red light and we can cross, we'll cross. Speaking of Korea, she had soju. LCBO little carry case. I really like that they do that at the LCBO now. Toronto Grad says the film festival. Yeah, I've done that the past few years. I really wish the city would move the film festival to John Street and keep the streetcars running on King. It's really kind of silly that they close it off for such a long period of time. But TIFF is coming up. There's a Boston pizza. Mike says South Korea is beautiful, can't wait to go, major population decline. Yeah, same with Japan. And I think Taiwan might be going through the same thing, where the birth rate isn't that high. And those are countries that don't historically rely on immigration. I lived in Seoul from 2007, I think until early 2014, but there was a small hiatus after my first year there where I was back to Toronto. Another city that always seems to do pretty well is Bangkok. I think that one just has such a huge audience of people traveling and looking for content. It's weird, my European content does about half as good as the Asian content. I look at my London videos, my Belgium videos, Amsterdam, Paris, Barcelona. Well, a few of the Barcelona videos exploded. But one of them was kind of clickbaity. It was a pickpocketing theme. Do I miss living in Seoul? Yeah, I do. I think it would be cool to live there a month or two every year. Impractical, but Taipei. Yeah, my videos in Taipei have done, I had one that did really, really well. There's a period of time when it was the most viewed walking video on YouTube through Taipei. It was one where I didn't talk. But Action Kid has spent a fair amount of time there. He's had videos do better than that since. Hey, a Maserati. Harjot. Greetings, Harjot. Hazelnut, I can't see that emoji, but I can see that you typed the word island. As we look south down Yonge Street. You're welcome, Adam. These are the last gasps of summer. But thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Just a friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. Anhan says, I'm the traveler. Hopefully I'll visit Uzbekistan. That would be neat. I'm always conflicted when I travel. When I'm away, I love being there, but I'm thinking about all the Toronto content I'm not making. Toronto Brad says, pray for one more month of summer. September gets kind of schizophrenic, right? Some days you wake up and it's like a shorts and t-shirt day. Then by the time evening rolls around, it's very much not a shorts and t-shirt kind of day. You'll have days in the low teens and the mid to high 20s in the same week. Then one day it's like someone flipped a switch and the skies are just gray all the time and it's generally cold. And even though it's technically still fall, it's basically winter rolling in. Yang's braised chicken rice. But we're in another one of those areas where look at how far away it is just across the street here. Bear in mind, this is a major corridor that it's got a ton of businesses. But way off to the south, you can see those lights. Talk about absolutely terrible car-centric design. And then there's not more lights until well over 100 meters to the north of here. Yeah, you can say like an able-bodied person can just wait for a break in traffic and cross, and there's nothing illegal about that. But not everyone can do that. Lisa says I'm being a bummer. Novel Cost says last time I missed an amazing natural disaster. Well, you know, when I go away next, if something happens, maybe we'll start to connect the dots. Do I wear any fragrance? Antiperspirant, does that count? No, I don't spray any cologne or aftershave. That's one thing you notice less and less of these days. There's just, you used to walk around and you get these whiffs of people's cologne or their perfume. And there's just way less of that now. We're moving towards like a neutral scented society. Johnny should do a food live stream in bento cake. Midori. I don't really know if live streaming eating food is my thing. Toronto Tech and Transit. Henry. Nice walking. Holy shit, Henry. Thank you so much. And you know what, Henry? My iPhone's doing that thing where it's so hot I can't see the screen very well. And the phone in my pocket is no longer playing this live stream. $25, there we go. I've got eyes on the Super now. Thank you, Henry. It was great to see you and Toronto Brad, not Toronto Brad, well, Toronto Brad before, but Brad Palmer, honorary Toronto Brad Palmer, along with Canadian Vasily and Medano 1973 Saturday night. You guys joined me for the first half of the live stream. Someone said more people are becoming sensitive to fragrances. Hey, look, we're gonna follow the rule. We're gonna cross here at church. And if you were wondering, I mentioned this at the start of the stream. It's the reason why the stream was a bit late getting up and running. I am streaming this one the old-fashioned way on Prism. I forgot to update my streaming server with the new streaming key, and there is a way to do that remotely. But I didn't feel like fiddling with my phone for 10 minutes on the side of the road. Naval says Nova Scotia has been scent free for a very long time now. Remember I mentioned how ridiculous this street design is? Look at this. Church Avenue, we have a marked crossing. You can barely even see the next marked crossing. It's very, very far away. Killian Fox is here. So cool to see your neighborhood. You're welcome. I always like streaming up here. I probably stream up here every other month or so. I really like this condo development across the street. Not necessarily the design, but I like the fact that it's got a lot of very small, kind of the old school fine grain retail. There's a lot of sort of more unique shops. Kind of wish I was on that side of the street. But you don't see this very much in new developments. You tend to get oversized retail units so they can rent them out to bigger, I guess, more stable tenants. Rice cake and desserts, coffee and drinks. Hello. Okay, I asked if they had anything like a chocolate-filled croissant, and they did not, which was a bit unfortunate. I just wanted anything full of chocolate. Jeanette says sweets. Jennifer Gala is here. Jennifer, thank you for watching my video in VR and posting it on your Instagram story. That was the Sunday night Stumble stream. Oh, there's no traffic here. I wanted to show you guys just how much I like this retail over here. Good morning, Cam. And it's not just along Yonge Street, but they've got all these great little shops. And it smells so good here. There's another Korean bakery. My Saigon Vietnamese eatery, Manga fried chicken. There's a little park straight ahead. Haida sandwich. Spicy pot. Pizza sandwich burger. Come on, man, pick a lane and stay in it. Do one thing really good. Unless they do all of them really good, in which case I'll be kind of shocked. I've done a walk along this street before. I think I called it like Unexplored North York or Toronto. Just detouring off of Yonge for a minute. Nigel says, nice day indeed. Nice day for me to pull out a drink. Sorry for the brief siesta. Just gonna sit down for 1 sec. Did I bring a bubbly? I also brought an umbrella because Alexa told me it might rain as I was leaving. I was like, hey Alexa, what's the weather like? And she's like, there's a 40% chance of rain at 10 a.m. Raspberry bubbly. So this street here is Doris. I think this one's Doris, and Beecroft is on the other side of Yonge Street, and both streets flank Yonge through the Willowdale neighborhood. Cheers to you guys. Stay warm. All right, that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's get moving around. Random Essex Extremes, 279 Winters, right. There's another name I probably butchered, but thank you so much for the support and the 279. Oh, by the way, I'm not like the type of person who wears my hat crooked. This thing though, I don't think it was made very well because it always just slides itself into a crooked position. A dupe it all Patagonia hat that I bought while in Thailand with my friend Dehan. Remember that guy? Bart? We'll have to get him on a live stream or video. But oh, this is good. Now my shorts are falling down. 1 sec. But I was talking to Ryan from Tiny Tiny Homes, and he was kind of blown away by the support he's gotten And he said a number of people have contacted him since the video yesterday. He got the largest donation he's ever had. I think $3,000 someone gave to him for the cause. So thank you guys for just supporting him and the positive feedback on the video and his concept. D Boutique, 29 months, gold tier. Good Tuesday morning, Johnny. Mods and chat, thank you. 29 months, holy cow. Now I gotta just do my belt up a little tighter. That's weird. I must be losing weight. My belt was as tight as it can go, and it's already in a notch I had to make up, or I had to carve out of it. There's some TMI for you. So we're gonna go back to Yonge Street. Technically, this is private property. Pay parking, enforced 24 hours a day, North Town Way. Is this a official City of Toronto street? I don't think it is. I think this is all part of this condo complex. Jennifer Gala saying hi to Zach. Hey, we got to speak with Gertej on Sunday and a number of other viewers on the Sunday Night Stumble stream. Did I drop something? No. Thank you, Han Han. Happy vacations. Should go in there. Excuse me, I'd like one of those happy ending vacations. How do I get one of those? Tiana is here. Greetings. Hopefully those aren't people's dry cleaning that they're just displaying outside. Wouldn't be a walk around Toronto without a number of emergency vehicle sirens. That's interesting. How to eat. Get a bowl. Get ingredient by price by weight. Get a drink. Choose soup. And pay at cashier. Take a seat. Wow, they really assume we're pretty dumb for the last three parts. The first two make sense. But you don't really have to spell it out for us for steps 3, 4, and 5 there. If you need help with those steps, I'm surprised you even made it out your front door. What if they advertised it as sad vacation? And again, another one of these ridiculously long in between crossings here. Some male says I'm a seasoned traveler, so others would need guidance. People need guidance knowing that after you tell them what food you want, you have to pay and then sit down. So if they didn't have that sign, there would just be a bunch of confused people not knowing what to do or where to go. Taiwanese style railway bento box. $50 tattoo. Lisa says that's sus. I mean, I'd pay $50 for like a temporary tattoo. Puff vape. Korean noli bong. Hot Star. How much is Taiwanese fried chicken? Combo. $16.99. You get the original fried chicken, fries, and a drink. An apprentice will be doing that $50 tattoo. Matt Ross converts it to USD, 37 bucks. All right, we are getting to the midway point, distance-wise, of the stream. Yonge and Finch coming up. There's the North American Center. I used to work there. Oh, it looks like one of those claw machine arcades. Another new one has moved in. Claw Me Baby. There's two downtown, one right south of Dundas Square, another one north of it. There's another one south of here at Empress Walk. Jennifer Gala marveling that gas is only $1.57. Ryan, I'm pretty random with the live streaming hours. We've got viewers from all over. And when I don't post a video in the morning, I usually try to live stream before noon. Just so there's something up on the channel for the day. I'll post a walking video tomorrow through an area I haven't really covered in a very long time. I might do another morning live stream Thursday or Friday, believe it or not. That downstairs karaoke place used to be a skateboard store many years ago. Many years ago, I used to go to work in that building, the second one on the right. Who am I taking in my fantasy draft? You know, I'm the commissioner of our league, and we don't even have our draft date set. I don't know. We're lowering the buy-in this year to 100 USD. I'm going to go very, very hands-off. I have not been following what's going on in fantasy at all. Knowing my luck, I'm going to end up having to draft on a flight using Wi-Fi or something. But we did it. We made it to the end of line 1. This is the northern terminus. This will be extended. I think there's a target date of like 2041. When this will be extended up to Richmond Hill. Where quite stupidly a lot of the NIMBYs have complained. So there's a very expensive rerouting of the subway line. In most cities, you would just go above ground at some point in Thornhill and just keep it above ground up until you get to the end in Richmond Hill. It's much cheaper to build that way, but of course we can't do that. We're not just tunneling, but we're tunneling way, way underground. Hey look, we're in Toronto. Come to Scarborough. We'll have to get back to Scarborough. Zoo Beer Bar. So there's a bus terminal here where you could grab a Go bus or a Blue Viva bus. It's also the TTC bus terminal right across the street. One thing you'll notice as we go through Newton Brook is there's a real lack of like parks along Yonge Street. This whole stretch of Yonge Street could use a reimagining, not just the Willowdale stretch. I wanted shade, where would I go? Right under here? Let's look at a York Region Viva bus. Hey, I can see the chat better. That's certainly an improvement. Twisted Metal says walking here is not a fun experience. No, it is not. Yonge Street, I'm going to say pretty much north of Davisville is a disaster, but it's particularly bad in North York. It takes on many Strode-like qualities. I mean, there's nice wide sidewalks in a lot of parts. It's got that going for it. But the walkability definitely falls off a cliff. You still go blocks and blocks and blocks between marked crossings to cross the street. There's a Viva bus. But there's intensification on the way, and I'm sure once the Willowdale stretch of Yonge Street gets fixed, it'll only seem logical to extend it up to Steeles. I think Richmond Hill has done an excellent job with Yonge Street, well to the north of here. I've really got to get up there and do a video. I think that's Hillcrest Mall up there. Pine Sol. Yeah, I did it one time. I think I started a stream at Finch or Steeles, and I just kept walking north. And we went north of the 407 into Richmond Hill, and then I took one of those blue buses back down. Maybe we could stream all the way up to like Hillcrest Mall. And I could do like a regular video or something in Richmond Hill. Kill a few birds with one stone. Tiana says, I hope the mods are doing well. I hope you're all doing well. They blew it by not taking the subway to Steeles in the 70s and 80s. They're also not planning a stop at Yonge and Cummer. I get it. It's kind of close to the north entrance to Finch. I think it would make sense at least to rough that station in, so one could be added. I know Reese from RM Transit argued it's not really necessary. There used to be a plaza just up on the right, where there was a place we'd go to for lunch when I worked at the North American Center called Conji Queen. There was a can of computers in there. There was a Bolorama. And now it is this. Hopefully some good retail comes in. Harjot is going to the C&E on Friday. Neat. Your bucket list is to go to the mailbox today. Oh, Kathy, sorry it's got windy, guys. I'm just using the camera microphones. I don't have a wind muff. Hopefully that doesn't sound too bad. I spent a whole lot of time working on a new streaming setup. I did one stream with it, and then I buggered it up for this one, so I had to go back to the old way. Newton Brook Bolorama was a great hangout. We did a few work shindigs there. I've even had a few dates there. And growing up, I think I went to a tournament or two there. Look at this new building. Yeah, I'm the guy that will take you on a date bowling and make you watch me throw a 200 game. Hey, look what I can do. I can't do much else, but I can do this. Golden Lion Heights. So this looks like another one of those streets that's private property. They're building a whole community in here. It's really not a bad location. You're right by Finch Station. You've got a lot of transit. There's a lot of restaurants. If you're willing to walk north or south just a little bit. I wonder if like a grocery store is moving in to this plaza. That's one thing this neighborhood is definitely missing. BanksyExhibit.com, I believe a unofficial Banksy exhibit. Yeah, there was a Food Basics in there as well, and a number of other places. I think there was like a dollar store. I only ever went there for the kanji and the Canada Computers and the bowling. This presentation center has been here forever, but this is where there's a proposed subway stop, but it is not approved. You're going to notice a strong Middle Eastern presence in a lot of the businesses we see. Still a lot of Asian restaurants as well. Trouble seeing the chat. That pedestrian center doesn't look presentable. Boardwalk Brad is here. Hello, Boardwalk Brad. My iPhone screen is so dim and hard to read now. I've got the Superior S24 Ultra screen out to read the chat. Mara says, oh my goodness, I just noticed the Friendlies at the corner with Drury is gone. Here's another place all boarded up. I think this might have been a presentation center or some kind of auto garage. So don't get mad if you see this walk posted in the other direction later on in this channel, but I'm going to record a video from Steeles down to Finch after this. Looks like a Tesla dealership. David Paul says, Chrysler, you can always go on Google Street View and turn the time back. Yes, people are allowed to have opinions, guys. Just reading some of the chats. We all thought of everything in the same way, the world would be a very boring place, wouldn't it? All I ask is that you don't attack one another in the chat, and you're welcome to stay no matter what your opinions are. Well, within reason. There's certain opinions that I think are beyond the pale. Mike says, gotta love those strobes, indeed. Gotta love this burst of wind hitting us. And yeah, if you don't want to see someone, you can just hide them from the chat. I'm not a fan of like censoring people or telling them what to say or how to think. Just click their name and hide them. Simple solution. There's a Coffee Lunar. Sandy says, happy vacations to go, please. We walked by a place called Happy Vacations. South of here. I was just trying to see something on the screen. But we've been streaming for an hour and 14 minutes now. Yeah, Boardwalk Brad, we are probably 15 minutes from Steeles. Closer if I move my legs a little better. Jellybean says, Johnny, when I block people, they tell the mods and start a big thing. You're allowed to block people. Let's not be children. If you block someone, maybe just let it go and not announce that you block them if people can't handle it. I don't know. It's generally a very welcoming and friendly community, but of course there's diverse opinions. I mean, if everyone had the same opinions, there would be like massive discrimination going on. You need counterpoints and balances to things, and people who see things through a different lens. We We are at what I deemed in a previous live stream the exchange district. And look, there's even more exchanges now. Delta Exchange, Arash Exchange, Niagara Currency Exchange, Kian Exchange, some exchange I can't read, Toronto Exchange, Darvish Exchange. Oh, the BB Cafe broke up the streak of exchanges in a row. There's a sign I can't read, probably says exchange. Kebab restaurant with an exchange on top. Cash for Gold, a supermarket. Papa Cake Pastry Cafe, I'm sure, or I'm surprised it's not cake, pastry, and exchange. There's Toronto, there's already a bar called Toronto. Currency exchange, yeah, I think there's some countries in the Middle East where generally it's better just to bring a lump of cash and change it here. I'm not sure. Maybe they don't have electric banking or electronic banking without ginormous fees. Maybe there's sanctions in the way. I have no idea. I think someone has explained it before in the comments. But if it wasn't sustainable, I'm sure these wouldn't exist. But how do you know what exchange to go to? You think the one on the end charges a slightly worse rate because they've got a slightly better location? I don't know how that works. But across the street, there's a billion exchanges too. Or maybe they're exchanging money on their way out. I don't know. Some people say just go to a bank, but banks don't always have a good rate. And in Canada, at least, they only seem to reliably have USD. Other currencies, they tend to have to order. You might luck out and they might have it on hint. But for me, I went to England and Belgium and I did not need any cash at all whatsoever. I was just able to tap my phone for every single thing I needed to do. Transit, paying. You might need your physical credit card for like a hotel or something like that, but I don't think I saw a single British pound or euro on my trip. Really weird. This is Newton Drive, as we are in Newton Brook. Matt Ross, if you're in a pinch, you go to Money Mart. Well, they will be pinching an enormous rate off of you if you go there. There's a place in Bangkok that has a much better rate than just about every other place in the area. I remember going there with my friends. That's one country where you still kind of need cash. But we've got some good modern conveniences for travel. You can just literally buy an eSIM online if you have an eSIM supporting phone. You can have your SIM card up and running before you get through the airport even. Just like boom. Data. Oh, you need cash? I'll just tap with my phone everywhere. Maybe change a few $100, but you don't really have to worry about getting a bad rate or anything if you're not changing huge amounts. And there's ATM cards you can get that don't have foreign transaction FX rate fees. And some bank cards will even waive foreign ATM fees. Digital Blade CA says eSIMs are a game changer. They are. When I was in Belgium, I couldn't stream off of my eSIM. It was too slow. So I just disabled it and roamed off of Rogers, Roam Like Home. I had a free roaming day and streamed off of that, no problem. It's much better than having to like pop out a physical SIM and juggle it. All right, Matt Ross, just reading some of your messages. There's Centerpoint Mall. A mall that may or may not be meeting with the wrecking ball. I don't think the development proposal has been finalized or approved yet. But like a lot of the smaller regional malls, that one is facing redevelopment. Nangman. We are at Athabasca Avenue. Home tattoo, honey tattoo. Thai Kitchen and Bar, BKK. Well, of all the places I've traveled to, that is hands down the best for food. I'm factoring cost into that. And there's a relic of the past, an absolute dinosaur, a Hudson's Bay. A far cry from Harrods. There's a popular Korean barbecue chain. Their downtown locations can be kind of hard. The one at Yonge and Dundas, kind of hard to get a table at sometimes. There's another one in Koreatown. There's a Starbucks. Oh no, Jelly Bean in shambles. 50-story building set to replace the Starbucks. Popeye supplements. It's a really weird way to enter a parking lot. That can't be right. Just hop on right over the sidewalk? What a weird, but no, I think that is the entrance there, right? Yeah, that's where that driver was supposed to enter it, not over the crosswalk. Arn. Hi, Johnny. Hope you'll have a great time. Arn, thank you so much for the €5. Thank you, Arn. They don't make it very clear to these drivers where the entry and exit points are. I'm not excusing that person for doing what they did, but it's not as obvious as it could be. All right, Steele's historic community of Newtonbrook. I think a lot of the older relics from Newtonbrook have unfortunately been destroyed. But goodbye, City of Toronto. Hello, Thornhill. And we are in the city of Markham. The street signs will get a little different. The roads will get a little strodier. Matt Ross, $5. A little something from my canceled Toronto trip this holiday weekend. Thanks again for the comment or the good content. I'm struggling to read it, but Matt Ross, sorry your trip got canceled. That can always be kind of gutting. Hopefully you can make up for it, but thank you so much for the $5. Glad you appreciate the content. Martin Van Owen, $10. Martin, I don't see a comment attached to that. Let me see if I can. See it here in the chat. I don't see it yet. But Martin, thank you so much as well. Let me heart and like some of these. But thank you, Martin Van Owen. Thank you for the super chat. One way I can make sure I see all the super chats is put up this fan funding mode on the phone. But I am really struggling to see here. Aiden Thompson McGuire, $2.79. You guys are spoiling me. Thank you so much. I'm sure I mispronounced your name, but thank you, Aiden Thompson McGuire, for the $2.79. Maybe it's Aiden. Corrected me before. So here's what we'll do. We'll go north up to the next headlights, or headlights, street lights. as you can see, it's definitely a lot more strody than the North York stretch. I really think Markham could take a lesson from Richmond Hill, their neighbor to their north, on how to configure Yonge Street. Although that side is actually the city of Vaughan. Dynasty Oriental Rugs. Hey, a kimbap restaurant. Go Kimbap. Maputan, Japanese yakitori and oyster bar. Ladin Kebab and Grill, Layden. So we're gonna head up to the World on Yonge. I might see about having lunch there. It's about that time, and then I'm gonna make a video going in the other direction. That one might not appear on the channel until next week. Limited suites available. And just north of this World on Yonge, there's not a whole lot to see for quite a distance. And that side of the street is dominated by car dealerships. Outhouse, but they've locked it. Bill Chow is here. Good to see you, Bill. Sorry if I didn't see you earlier. That lady's hat almost blew right off. Charbroiled hamburgers, steak on Kaiser, shakes and fries. There's a potential lunchtime spot. Colette Grant, thank you so much. Longtime viewer says keep up the great work. Much appreciated. All right, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna sit down in this sunny bench. And I'm gonna put the gimbal away, one sec. And if you're, sorry about all the wind, but if you're familiar with the YouTube channel Toronto Tech and Transit, one thing Henry does that I think is different from everyone else is he just holds the phone in his hand. And use a gimbal. So that is how we're going to finish this up. We're just going to do a little handheld streaming action. I'll go back and re-watch this. And I'm curious about this, just in case, you know, I'm traveling and I don't want to bring my gimbal with me. Can we still get watchable live streams? I've enabled cinematic stabilization. So I'm curious if this is smooth enough. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you watch a whole stream like this? Jellybean says, don't read the chat. And the Velcos. Okay, let's try walking slow. Then I won't be able to cover massive distances. Drew says, it's okay, but definitely better with the gimbal. Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I've tried this before. But the thing is, if I'm in like a foreign country and I've got to limit the weight in my carry-on and my backpack and the stuff I lug around, if I can just hold the phone in my hand, and if we can get live streams that are viewable, I think that's like a pretty good compromise. If I'm in Toronto, I can always just bring the gimbal, or even if I don't have the gimbal. Jennifer Gala says, I'm watching on a TV and there's a difference. Well, I don't have this in the highest stabilization mode. I just have it in the cinematic mode. There's another one. I think what I did for my one of my live streams in Paris was I used the phone on like a selfie stick instead of a gimbal. Digital Blade CA says it's about 20% worse. I might not just have the skill that Henry does. And he probably has his on a more stable mode, because there is one more stable mode than this, but I can't change it midstream. At least I don't think I can. Let me try. No, it's not giving me access to those settings, so I have to like kill the stream and bring it back. These garbage cans look like speakers. Is there a place in here that I want to eat lunch at? There's a Subway sandwich. Gold watches. There's a little shopping mall. Shops on Yonge. All right, that settles it. I'm gonna do the next video starting through here. This is just like when I stream from the beach, isn't it? Get the foot. I need a adult beverage. But on that note, I want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank our mods, channel members, Patreon supporters, everyone who sent support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. when I go live next. It might be tomorrow night or Thursday night from the CNE. And I'm probably gonna do another morning stream, either Friday or Thursday, because I've got to start saving videos and cranking out more. And you'll find out why soon enough, but I wanna thank you guys so much. Since you have hung around to the end of the stream, I'll drop this little nugget on you. September is going to be the most different month in this channel's history. So things are gonna be a bit different in September, for better or worse. They're just gonna be different. That's all I'll say. But I'm excited for it, and I didn't even know until yesterday that it was gonna be so different. So I wanna thank you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll have a regular video posted tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST. And thanks for supporting Ryan and the Tiny Homes cause. All right, guys, yoink.